Hello and welcome. My name is Tommy, and today my dog and I are going to be reviewing the HyperX Cloud Flight. So if you like this video, make sure to leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a dislike. And of course, if you've been following my content for a while, please do hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's dive in. All right, so the first thing that I like to talk about is the specs of these guys. Why would you want to buy them? The driver that they come with is a dynamic driver, 50mm with neodymium magnets. I'm pretty sure that I might have said that word wrong. Anyways, the type is circumneural and they are closed back as compared to open back. So if you don't know the difference between open backed and closed backed, open back means that you can hear everything around you, and that means sound's going to leak. And if somebody's sitting next to you, they're going to be able to hear what you're hearing. If it's closed back, they're not going to be able to hear it. And it's also going to give you passive noise isolation, which is kind of the same thing as you doing this with your hands and trying to talk. I might be talking louder, I might not be, because I can't hear nearly as much as I can if my hands are off there. So that's the biggest difference between open is if it's open, you can hear yourself talk. If it's closed, it's going to be a little bit muffled. But for sound quality wise, it's not going to make a difference. It's kind of personal preference. Moving on, the frequency response, it is a wireless headset. It's going to be 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. It's analog. It's the analog portion, meaning that once you plug it in with the 3.5mm aux cord, it's going to be 15 hertz to 23,000 hertz, and the impedance is 32 ohms. The sound pressure level, I'm not going to go into. The total harmonic disruption, I think is what it stands for, THD, is less than 2%. The weight is 300 grams, which is relatively, it's not too heavy, but it's not super light either. You're not going to notice it on your head. The weight with the mic is 315 grams, and the cable length and type is a USB charge cable that is 1 meter, and then it's got a detachable 3.5mm headphone cable that is 1.3 meters. The microphone itself is an electric condenser microphone. It's not super great, it's not super bad. I'll do a little sound wave right here of it. Hello and welcome. My name is Tommy, and today I am bringing you a microphone test of the HyperX Cloud Flights. This is recorded in Adobe Audition, and the microphone settings are set to 100 and one channel 16-bit 48,000 hertz. It is recorded in one channel 32-bit floating 48,000 hertz. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Pattern is noise canceling. The frequency response is 100 hertz to 7,000 hertz, which is about average, and then the sensitivity is negative 45 dBV. Moving on to battery life. Without the lights, it's going to be 30 hours. With the breathing LEDs on, it's going to be 18 hours, and with solid LEDs, it's going to be 13 hours. The wireless range is 2.4 gigahertz, and it is up to 20 meters, which is pretty good, actually, all things considered. Moving on to the actual packaging itself. Here it is. Here's the front. Here's the side. Here's the back. Here's the other side. And here's the bottom. Here's the top. And then you slide it up. You open it up. You've got some documentation that spills out, so we'll go through that really quick. I don't know. There's this thing that says, like, happy that you're here. A user guide that tells you how to do everything. And then their warranty. Then what else is nice is you just remove this plastic. That is not appropriate. That is so not appropriate. Just ignore him. Anyways, once you get it open, you've got your wireless USB dongle right here. It only works on PC, and I think PS4. I don't believe that it works on Xbox One. I could be wrong with that. It definitely doesn't work on your TV. I tried. I wish it did. Sorry for everybody's heart that I just crushed that wanted that to happen. And then you've got your microphone over here, and then you've got your two cables under there. So let's actually take a look at the headset itself. Here it is. It's actually pretty compact when you actually look at it. It doesn't take a whole lot of room, which I really do enjoy, especially if you're streaming. You don't want something absolutely monstrous like this guy that just makes you look a little funny with having a huge thing on your head. Moving on, Over here, you've got some leatherette, fake leather here. That does have pretty good padding. It does a really good job. That's also the main reason why you have a lot of noise isolation. You've got a nice little foam part right here that if your ear happens to hit that, it's going to be padded and you're not going to really notice. For me and my ears, when I have it on, I don't notice that my ears are rubbing against that whatsoever. It is all plastic, which makes me a little bit concerned. However, it's pretty durable, but when I get to this part, I'm super concerned that I would snap this in half. So if you've got a really big head where you're having to do this, be super careful with these guys and it still might break. However, if you're got a little tiny baby head, even though I'm kidding, I actually don't have a small head. I don't have a huge head either, but it's not necessarily small. That's usually what's comfortable for me and it's not going to break with that. On your left ear cup, you have your push to mute, so you just press that, does a tone in your ear, and it mutes. On the bottom here, you have your 3.5 millimeter aux in. Then you have your actual microphone slot that your microphone goes into there, and then you have your charging cable slot right there, and then right here is your power on and off. It also makes a tone. It doesn't say powering on or powering off. And then on your left ear cup, you've got your volume. However, the volume wheel itself is a little too touchy to me. It feels good and it feels solid, but it rotates way too easily. And when you're on the computer itself, you'll see it just like, you can't do like 2, 4, 6, even when you're trying to be really soft with it. It goes like 2, 6, 12, like it goes up really fast. So it's hard to be really precise with that. So that's something to keep in mind. On the top here, you've got a little tiny bit of leatherette, but I don't think there's actually padding in there. I think it's just air. And then on the top, you've got HyperX Cloud Flight. When you power them on, press one time, it's going to be on. You press it again, it goes to the pulsating, and then you press it again and it turns off. All right, so it saves your settings, so I'm going to turn this off really quick. There's it turning off, and then I'm going to turn it back on. It's going to light up for a second, and then it's going to go dark to remember the previous setting. And then it's also reminding me that I had myself muted the last time. So that's pretty nice. I also like the red accents right here. Moving on to sound quality. Actually, let's talk about comfort really quick. Comfort is fantastic. You're gonna pretty much for the most part forget that it's on your head, other than the fact that it's got the passive noise isolation, so everything sounds dampened. But it's very comfortable. You're gonna be able to wear it all day long. With the battery life that it has, it's gonna last forever as well. Moving on to the sound quality. For gaming, it is excellent. I would rate it as probably an 8 out of 10. With the only thing that I've tried that beats it is going to be my Sennheiser Game 1s. These are open back, and I think they give better directional audio and everything like this. However, these do a fantastic job. They're very good. I've also tried them against the Astro A50 Gen 3s, the Sennheiser HD 500, 650s, sorry, not 500, 650s, and also the Hi-Fi Man HE 400Is. Among a lot of other ones, and they were one of the top choices that I had for them. So I highly recommend them for gaming. General use of, if you're listening to music, it's going to do a pretty good job. It's not going to blow your socks off. I would say that it's average 6 out of 10, and then for your general use, also 6, 7 out of 10. So it's one of those that if you're looking for an overall good headset, this is definitely one to get. If you're looking strictly for gaming, this is an ideal one. But if you're looking for like audiophile, super great HD 650 type things for movie watching and for listening to music, these aren't going to blow your socks away, but they do a good job. They have really crisp highs, they have pretty good mids, and the bass is nice and rumbly, but it's not going to be the same thing as using one of these. So that's just something to keep in mind. But for gaming, these beat these, so just keep that in mind. So let's talk about the pros and cons. Pros: comfortable. Pro, it sounds really good. Pro, it's really good for gaming. Pro and / con depending is it's not the best for general use. It's pretty good. It's going to be above average for general use, but it's not going to blow your socks away. Price range for this is also really good. Negative, the way that it charges through the USB is kind of a pain in the butt. You're going to want to charge it in every night instead of using it while you're doing it. The tones themselves don't really tell you a whole lot of information, and all of them sound very similar, so it's one of those that you might get confused on what the heck it's telling you because the tone is very similar. When you have to update the software, makes you want to jump off a cliff. It is so freaking bad. I can't even it's so bad. I don't even want to get into it other than saying that it's super ridiculously bad. And I've updated a whole bunch of stuff. I'm super tech oriented, and it still took me like 30 to 45 minutes to update this correctly and have it work. So it's one of those, prepare yourself before you do it. Maybe take a Xanax or something to calm down and you'll be okay. The USB wireless dongle is nice. It's nice and tiny. I wish to a certain extent that you could actually almost pop off a side here and then put the wireless dongle in there for it. So if you wanted to, travel with it, it'd be a little bit easier, but that's not a thing. So really there's not a whole lot of cons. Software's awful for it. The actual volume up and down is kind of rough too, but once you get that set, you're good. I do like the push to mute. It's on your cheaper side of things, just the overall build quality, but for the price to performance ratio, it's good. Now, is it as premium as some of your other headsets that are $300? I wouldn't say that it is in the sense of feel and operation, but sound quality wise, yes it is. So that's the end of this video. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a dislike. And of course, if you've been following my content for a while, please do subscribe, and I will see your beautiful faces on the next one. See you later.